Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous day. Today is all about organizers. This video is in collaboration with Samorga, who was incredibly generous and sent me a few different organizers to review in depth. As always, all opinions are my own, but I hope that you enjoy this video. If you do, make sure and give it a thumbs up, and without further ado, let's get started, shall we? I got a chance to try out the organizers for the first time about 2 years ago, and I've been hooked ever since. Now that wasn't always the case. As many of you know, I haven't always been the biggest fan of organizers. Yes, I appreciated them, but I didn't think that they were necessarily for me. However, my opinion has definitely changed because I do incorporate them quite a bit. And I made a video on my findings back then, and I'll make sure and put a link to that video on the description box below if you wanted to check it out. Now for the most part, I have organizers for my tote style handbags. That's what I end up preferring. But for this video, I want to try out 2 other popular designs that they offer, just to see how they end up working out for me, and a third that is still very similar to something that I already own. Alright, so I got a chance to try out organizers for the Chanel Reissue 226, the Louis Vuitton Nice BB, and the Saline Nano luggage tote. Alright, so let's go through each one so I can share the details. Let's start off with the organizer for the Nice BB. I do have my notes in front of me, so if you see me looking down, that is why. Alright, so as far as this guy goes, this is in the color beige. It is in the 2mm felt. As far as the measurements go, it is 9.5 inches in length. It is 4 inches in height and approximately 5 inches in depth. It does feature a total of 8 slip pockets, and you have 1 main compartment. Now this guy also comes with a removable compartment that does have Velcro. It is very easy to take off and put back on. I didn't want to add it on there just because I know it might bother some of you, but when you do end up adding this compartment, it turns this guy, instead of 1, into 4 different spaces, which I think is pretty great. As far as the weight goes, with the compartment, it weighs 3.8 ounces, and without, it weighs 3 ounces. I absolutely love the Nice BB because of the washable interior. I think it's awesome, especially when traveling. That way, if you do end up getting any type of spill on here, it's very easy to clean up, and you don't have to worry that you're necessarily going to stain it. However, I am also very paranoid. So even though I do have the washable interior, I do like to put all of my makeup and all of my toiletries whenever we're traveling inside of Ziploc bags. Now I know that might not be the most appealing sight, but you know what? It helps the crazy. It definitely gives me a little bit more peace of mind. But on our recent trip, I decided to put this bad boy to the test. I wanted to see just how it would end up working out. I wanted to make sure I didn't carry any Ziploc bags with me. I was a little bit nervous. You know, I felt like I was somewhat hyperventilating. I know that might seem very extreme, but you guys know me. So I decided to put this guy to the test, and it was awesome. It didn't take away space from whatever I needed to carry. I was still able to carry all of my makeup, all of my toiletries, no problem. And the fact that it does have that removable compartment definitely gives you a little bit more play, you know, just because I think that I'm able to kind of move it this way if I have like my palette, my makeup palette that's a little bit bigger, or if I wanted to move it that way, what have you, or take it out completely. I did end up using it with the compartment, and like I said before, I thought it was a major game changer. So not only that, the fact that it also helps to maintain the shape when you go to store it, I think is awesome. So let me show you guys how easy it is to put it in here. No problems. It doesn't cause any lumps and bumps on the exterior canvas. And there you go. So if you wanted a little bit more play, you can end up taking this out completely. Or like I said, it is very flexible and it still fits in there very comfortably. Next is for the Reissue. This is in the color wine. The material is 2mm felt. As far as the measurements go, it is 10 inches in length. It is 4.25 inches in height and approximately 3.25 inches in depth. It does weigh 2.8 ounces, and it has a total of 2 slip pockets, 1 here and 1 here, and an open compartment. I gotta be honest, I was a little unsure of this one just because when it comes to the aged calfskin on the Reissue, I absolutely love the fact that you have a little bit more play because of the material. You're not necessarily limited to what you can carry. It's not too stiff, and I also think that it has a very generous opening. So I wasn't sure if this was going to make it a little too boxy or if it was going to take away from how much I end up carrying on a daily basis inside of the bag. I was completely wrong on both accounts. It's still very flexible, and I'm still able to carry all of my daily essentials in here, no problem. I didn't have to take anything out. So this guy definitely didn't take up more space than I thought it would. Now, one of the questions that I get asked the most is if I've ever experienced any type of indentation on my leather-lined handbags from any of the exterior hardware of my small leather goods, such as the Louis Vuitton mini pochette or the card holder that I have from YSL that has that logo on the exterior. I personally haven't, but by going for an organizer, it would really give you a little bit more peace of mind from that ever happening in the future. So if that's something that makes you feel comfortable, I would definitely recommend going for this inside of any of your leather-lined handbags. Now let me show you guys what it looks like inside of the Reissue. Give me just a second. It pops in very easily, and there we go. That's what it looks like. I love the wine just because you already have that color on the bag. But as you can see, it doesn't take up too much space. It fits like a glove, and the fact that you're still able to carry all of your items in here, I think is amazing. The last one is for the Saline Nano. This is in the color magenta. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, please don't quote me on it because I could be wrong, but I thought it was the magenta. This is in the 2mm felt. As far as the measurements go, it is 8.5 inches in length at the top. It is 7.5 inches in length at the bottom. It is 6 inches in height. It is approximately 2 3/4 inches in depth. It does weigh 2.3 ounces, and it does have a total of 2 slip pockets, one at the top, one at the bottom, and an open compartment. Now, the luggage tote line is known for losing its shape, especially on the sides. It starts to wrinkle quite a bit. The Nano, not so much, just because of the size, but I thought I would be safe than sorry. Now, the main reason why I decided to get an organizer for this bag is because of this beautiful black suede interior. I think it's gorgeous, but it does end up scratching very easily. It picks up lint like crazy, to the point where sometimes I do have to use a lint roller before I go to store it just to take it out. But unbeknownst to me, I would end up using this bag with some of my lighter small leather goods. Not too often. For the most part, I stuck to dark small leather goods. But this beautiful interior does end up bleeding. And it wasn't until after I started using an organizer that I noticed. So check this out. I ended up using it for about a month. And I started to see that I have that black, like a little bit of a black residue, if you will, on the sides there. It's a little bit more noticeable on there than it is on this side. But also, if you were to see this up close, there is a little bit on both sides here that have a little bit of black tint to them. So if I was to use this bag, if I was to continue to use my lighter small leather goods in this bag, no doubt in my mind, I would have experienced color transfer. But because of this, this was a major lifesaver, you know? I would rather have the color transfer happen on this than have this bag end up causing color transfer on my lighter small leather goods. So now I can use the lighter small leather goods, I can use the darker small leather goods, no problem, just because this gives me peace of mind that once again, I'm not going to experience any type of color transfer from this beautiful lining. Now, I also wanted to show you what it looks like when you go to pop it in. Very easy to remove, very easy to put back in. But there we go. I really like the contrast of the pink with the black. I think it looks amazing. I also wanted to add a few more details. Now, for the most part, I do consider them to be lightweight, especially since they are made of felt. But some of the larger organizers will add a little bit more weight, and you'll definitely be able to feel that when you have all of your items inside of the handbag. I've never experienced any type of color transfer with these organizers. I've never had any issues with the colors bleeding onto my lighter small leather goods. I've never had any issues with them staining the interior of my handbags either, whether it was a washable interior or a leather lined interior. I know I get that question asked quite a bit, so I thought I'd throw that out there just in case. For me personally, I don't feel that all of my handbags need organizers. Some of the smaller styles, some of the smaller silhouettes don't warrant the use of one, but the organizers that I do have, I absolutely love them, especially the ones that I use for my totes. I am such a tote girl, and you have no idea how much I appreciate the fact that in totes such as the Chanel Deauville, that doesn't have a whole lot of structure, that doesn't have a whole lot of shape to it, whenever I go to put an organizer inside, it doesn't end up flopping over. Whether I put it down on a table, on a chair, what have you, the fact that it still stays in the upright position, I think is amazing. So it has been a major game changer for me. I use organizers in all three of my Neverfulls. I have another one for my Deauville, and I also end up using the organizers from my Neverfull MMs inside of the Longchamp Le Pliage large totes that I have, just because those are also known for not having the best shape, so that definitely ends up helping out, you know? But I think it's a matter of personal preference. If you're the type of person that wants all of your handbags to have organizers, I think that's great. If you only want a few organizers for some of your handbags, I think that's great too, you know? And I was wrong, like what I said previously about the Reissue. I had an idea that it wouldn't end up working out, and I was definitely wrong. So I have a new appreciation for organizers inside of classic flaps and reissues. There was one organizer that didn't end up working out for me, and that was for the Louis Vuitton Speedy 25 Bandolier. I love the fact that it added a nice pop of color because I did end up going for pink. I also felt that it was a little bit easier to find my items because of that pop of color, but the reason why it didn't work out is just because I felt it was a little too restricting, and it's really because the opening of that bag isn't the largest, so I also wanted to mention that. But I have been thinking about getting one for the bum bag. I do wonder how that would end up working out. If any of you guys do have it, let me know in the comment section down below. The more information, the better, because I am leaning towards getting one for this guy there. Now, I also wanted to talk about shipping because I know that this is a very hot topic whenever I do end up talking about this company. As of right now, their shipping time is from 3 to 5 weeks because they do end up shipping from overseas. I know that might seem like a long time, especially if you're really excited to start using your organizer, but they are trying to get them out as fast as they possibly can, so please bear with them. So do I recommend them? Absolutely I do. Not only do they help keep your bag organized so that way you can find your items at a moment's notice, they also help to maintain the shape of your bag while you're using it and when you store it, and they also provide a beautiful pop of color without the commitment. They have extended my coupon code of 20% off that ends December 31st of 2019. I don't make any money if you use the code. It's just passing along some savings. And I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Samorga for sending me these items so that I can review them, and also for this wonderful opportunity to do this collaboration. But that does it for my video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I hope I was able to give you a little bit more information. I will put all of the details on the description box below. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you guys later. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day.